Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. You might have made one going to
It's
Tallahassee.
mercy if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, crossover to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shelly, you, pretty girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Beat the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets after buckets, baby. You out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
What up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Buckets. It's been a few weeks. You got me and Vish tonight. We are sans Matt. He's a little under the weather. Hopefully just a 24-hour bug as we're all meeting up in Cal on Friday. Vish, how's it going?
Yeah, you know, we never talk, so it's good to see you.
Last time I saw Vish, he almost destroyed my back because we were at the Virginia Tech game.
Look, it was a light hug when they called the pass incomplete.
It was almost a tackle. Like, luckily, I had a good.
I feel like this was
balance.
grown into mythical proportions.
Let's just say, me and Vish were at the Miami Virginia Tech football game this past weekend. I was rage tweeting. So if anyone follows my regular Twitter account, I was rage tweeting the whole second half. And yeah, we won. And if anyone thinks that's a catch, stop watching our show. Just go.
Well, no, keep watching our show. We have sponsors. No.
Yeah.
She's in charge of the business end of this thing.
Exciting show tonight. We've got the strength and conditioning coach from the women's basketball team on. I love how excited the women's coaches are to come on our show. I've already got more lined up. We're gonna get the entire staff on by the time, but hopefully by the time the season starts. So
that is the plan.
I'm already in contact with Coach Ivy, and the other coach Paige. There's been some Twitter interaction, so we're working on it. We're gonna get the whole crew will have been on Buckets by the time the season starts. So, Vish, I'm gonna see you bright and early in the morning.
Well, it's normal time for me, so I must wake up before the afternoon. So
some of us work till 3:00 in the morning. Me and Vish got an early flight out to Cal tomorrow. So,
do you want to bring our guest on?
Oh, punctuality! I love it. So please welcome another awesome member of the coaching staff of the women's basketball team, the strength and conditioning coordinator. If you've seen any of the Instagram videos, she's got a lot of energy. No relation. Welcome, Coach Bree Brown, to the show.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me on. By the way.
No, thanks for coming.
You reached out to us, actually. I just threw out the blanket welcome, and you were like, "I'll come on," and I was like, "Sure." So thanks for the excitement.
You called out the staff a little bit, so I was like, "Oh, I guess we all got to respond to this one."
It's a theme on this show. We have no shame. So my last name is also Brown, so it's kind of a running joke whenever anyone has a last name Brown. I'm always like, no relation. So that's
Great
why.
People though.
It is, right? It's a good last name. So before we get started talking about strength and conditioning and the Miami basketball team, I did warn you about this. We have a little debate on our show. Our third co-host isn't here today. He's a little under the weather, but
no.
There's a little debate. If you could only eat one chicken sandwich for the rest of your life, would you go to Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, I'll be honest. So I don't really eat a ton of fast food.
I figured I kind of had a feeling this might be her answer.
But if I had to choose, it would for sure be Chick-fil-A. Sorry, Vish.
We've run out of room on the board now.
I will have to rewrite the list for a third time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been very one-sided. I think Coach Fitz is the only one from the women's program, right? That we got.
Yeah, Coach Fitz did pick Popeyes, but Coach Danielle Page, Coach Cullup, Jasmine Roberts, Leah Harmon, they all picked Chick-fil-A. So you are joining a great list.
Coach Meyer did not pick Chick-fil-A.
She didn't pick either.
She didn't pick either. She said I have to pick Bojangles up from North Carolina. So that was that.
That's fair.
You didn't argue with Coach Meyer. She's like, all right, that's an answer.
Yeah,
you didn't ask about biscuits though. If you ask about biscuits, Bojangles is the
for sure the winner.
For sure.
Yes, 100%.
All right, so let's talk business. So besides your lack of eating fast food, but anyway, how did you get into strength and conditioning? Because it seems like such a niche thing. What were sports like a big part of your life growing up, or where did the strength and conditioning love come from?
Yeah, so I actually played college soccer at Southern Utah University, so just small mid-major college. And I really thought when I went to school, I was like, oh, I'm going to be involved in sports still, and I thought I was going to take like the PT or athletic training route. And my strength coach in college, him and I had like a pretty good rapport. I was like a semi-decent lifter, but I enjoyed the weight room, which might be a little bit of a surprise for like a soccer player. But I kind of asked him, I was like, well, so what do you do? Do you just lift teams? Like, and he's like, yeah, he's like, it's awesome. He's like, I train great athletes, and then I get to wear athletic clothing like for 90% of my job. I was like, all right, well, maybe this is what I want to do. But I tore my ACL twice. So that's kind of why him and I built like a pretty good rapport. And by the time I was kind of done playing, I was like, it was way more fun training and like being in that environment and getting kids better and more prepared to actually play. And like long-term, I was like, I mean, I still want to be in sports. And I think this is kind of like the little niche, like what you said, where I can still do both. And so I found my way in basketball, not soccer as much. So, but it's been fun. Like, I mean, it's obviously like what I love doing. And that's kind of how I ended up as a strength coach. I didn't even know it was like a thing when I was in school for the most part.
Do you hoop at all, or soccer is your main thing?
No. Like sometimes the players ask me to like play with them, and like they know that I'm awful. So I've beaten a couple of them in like horse on the off chance, like lucky shot. But for the most part, like I let them do their thing and cheer them on really hard on the bench. So
I feel you. I tried playing soccer when I was a kid and I was terrible. So hoops was my thing. So it doesn't seem like it works both ways. It's one or the other.
Yeah. I mean, actually one of our incoming freshmen plays soccer and basketball. So she'll kind of be like a first.
Ooh, which one?
Meredith Tipner.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So she's a super good soccer player and obviously an extremely talented basketball player. So she's probably one of the first that I've had that has done that like at a pretty high level.
Is there a difference training soccer versus basketball as far as in the weight room?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely like for sure nuances, especially when it comes to the game. And honestly, like the biggest, I think, difference is just the body types that you're training. Basketball players, I mean, look at half of our team. Their hips are all the way up to my torso. So, training them, whereas, I'm like 5'6", so I'm pretty small, like regular kind of proportions. So training, a soccer player is sometimes a little bit easier, but basketball players are super unique just with their body types and what they have to do on the court and, how quickly they have to do it. Obviously soccer, you're playing on, a huge field, whereas the basketball court, there's not a lot of room for error. So I definitely think there's like huge differences when you're looking at the sport, but I think the way that I kind of go about it is a very similar philosophy, if that makes sense.
So how do you come up with kind of are there like prescribed training plans you have individually for the players, or they're like, how do you kind of decide what they need to do to be productive?
Yeah. So I think like, first and foremost, it's always kind of like sitting down with the coaching staff and figuring out like what the style of play is going to be. Obviously, like, being in the ACC, not only do we have to be, strong, but we also have to be fast, athletic. We're playing super athletic teams, but super high IQ as well. So, not only is there like a huge physical demand with the league that we play in, but there's a huge mental demand as well. So I think obviously freshmen coming in, Nay, Leah, Momo that came in this summer, they're coming from, super elite programs and have done a phenomenal job, preparing themselves to this point. But their training is going to look a lot different, or a little bit more what you might say is basic compared to, Cam or Nat or Haley Hannah, who have been training for years, even if it's been at different universities. Their, I guess, skill set might be a little bit bigger. So, what I can do with some of our more mature or more experienced players are probably a little bit more complicated versus, some of our younger kids, what they really need to focus on is like really great movement, really great technique, so that we can kind of use those as building blocks as they're here at the University of Miami. So I definitely say that there's, some differing ways that we kind of go about training some of our younger, maybe some newer players, but we have a great sports performance staff that we do a lot of evaluations when the players get to campus, and that obviously helps me kind of form a guideline for each individual player. And then, when you're looking at the team, basically each position group as well, because there's obviously going to be much different demands, for Cam and Nat versus maybe a Haley, Hannah, Nay, who are running the point and playing some of that small guard work. So
do you are you a big part of like recovery with injury? Like Lamaya tore her ACL last year. Are you a big part of her PT and coming back from the injury?
Yeah. So like I said, like our performance staff is like really great. Silver Harris is our athletic trainer. Tommy Otley is our, full-time physical therapist. And then, obviously you have myself that work directly with women's basketball. So I for sure think it was a huge team effort in that regard. Obviously Tommy takes a bulk of the majority of the rehab initially and starts that process, but it, was super smooth and super reliable. And then it just, is Silver and I kind of on either end, the beginning and kind of the end of the rehab, where we're all kind of combining like our specialties together. And, all credit to Lamaya. She's crushed her rehab and has done a phenomenal job. So really, we're all very, very excited, to get her back on the court. But for sure, a team effort. It's not just me, there's a lot of smart people in the building. And I think that's what's so exciting about like the staff and, the players that we have this year.
Is there a learning curve when it comes to like when coming from high school to college? I listened to your you were on the Move the Needle podcast.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of terminology, and I'm like, I'm in the medical field, so I know some of that stuff, but I was like, even to me, some of it sounded foreign. So is there like a learning curve when new people come in and you have to be like, this is what this means and this is what this means? And is there a lot of that going on?
Yeah, for sure. And I think and I kind of always say this too, like, and I think Coach Cullip says this a bunch as well, like coaching is teaching. And so obviously like I'm coaching weight room things, but a lot of it is like some of the things that they learn in some of their like basic classes as well. Like they'll come and, we'll train and we'll talk about training and like what it's doing, the potential adaptation that we're actually trying to elicit. And they'll be like, what does that mean? Or how, like, what muscle is that? Or so they definitely come with questions, and then they definitely come with questions of like, why are we doing it? Or why are we doing it this way? Or I think this group in particular is like super inquisitive. Like they love knowing the why. They like knowing how it's helping them, and they want to know whatever they can do to get better. And it's like really fun. So for sure, I think there's a ton of learning going on, and that's exciting for me as a coach, and I know that's super exciting for our coaching staff.
So you mentioned, how I have to work with the coaching staff. How is the turnover in the coaching staff? How has that been?
Yeah, I mean, everyone on staff is electric. So it's been fantastic. I mean, obviously like working for Coach Meyer was fantastic. Like I love her. She's the best. But I can't even imagine, like Coach Cullip is amazing. The whole staff is amazing. Like it's incredible. So I feel really grateful that I've been able to work with so far, like 2 incredible female head coaches. And there's just so much energy. There's so much excitement. There's like a ton of, I don't know how to describe it, just like positive energy and like competitiveness, I think, just coming from everybody that's on the floor. And man, like everyone is working their butt off. So it's just been really fun.
It doesn't even feel like we missed a step as far as like, at least from the fan perspective, like the energy within the program. Like, I mean, we covered this team all last year with Coach Meyer. she named our show, so we love her. But like even just with the new coaching staff, and we've had a few players on and a few coaches on, it doesn't seem like there's any drop off.
Not at
the
all,
same.
not one bit. Like I couldn't have imagined, a easier, better transition, and honestly, just like a even better like way to keep moving forward. So, everyone's really hungry. Everyone wants to win, and we really want to, even take the program to even, bigger heights. So I think that's super exciting, and it's been super encouraging, I think, for everyone, that's been here since June now. So yeah, it's been great.
So we talked about, the coaches turned over. This is the second year in a row where there's significant player turnover. How difficult is that for you? Because I would imagine over time you develop a rapport with the players, and when they, there's 2 holdovers from last year.
Yeah,
this year and last year was a lot. Does that make your job harder?
I don't know if I'd say harder. I think it's just a different feel every year. And I think everyone is kind of dealing with this a little bit in college athletics. When I first got into the field back in like 2018, most of the kids that I coached, I'd have, from freshmen to seniors. So you got to see that growth and development pretty consistently. But I think it puts an even bigger emphasis on, creating these relationships and, creating a culture where, people want to be here, people want to compete, people want to, represent the university. And, I think even from Coach Meyer and now obviously Coach Kolop, I think they've both done a phenomenal job of, creating that culture and bringing the right kids into the building and just continuing to kind of move that forward as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit difficult because you're obviously learning and meeting new kids, potentially every season. But, I just really love this group this year, and they've just been such a fun group to coach so far. So, that's all I can kind of like really, I guess, comment on that. Like,
it's probably going to be the same next year. It's a lot of seniors.
I mean, we're losing, obviously like we got a lot of, 5th year players, and, they'll all be gone next year too. I mean, it's been fun having Haley and Hannah back too. It's like, they left and came back. So, and we got a really good group of young players too that, I think are going to be really exciting this season. I think the fans and anyone who follows us is going to be really excited to see them play too.
Are the players competitive in the weight room, or
yeah,
as far as like who's lifting the most? Are there competitions, or
for
who's
sure
the most competitive?
Well, I kind of left them in 2 different groups. So, my older group, I got to give it to Haley and Hannah. They for sure get after it. They love the weight room. But they definitely get competitive. Like we use the, Hawkins force plates to get some of their like jump heights and whatnot. And when we put that up, they're always like looking at the screen, like, well, what'd you get? Like, well, I'm going to go again, Bree. Like, so they're like super competitive. And then I guess Hannah calls them my little chicken group, but it's kind of like my younger kids group. And they always are competitive about like who's lifting the most and, who's going up in weight and like what I tell them. And, Leah's like, oh, I'm a big guard now, big dog. I gotta start moving the big dog weight. So they all like to chirp and, have a good time with it. So it's been fun. Like it's been a really great like training culture this summer. And I think that's definitely like giving confidence and carried out onto the court for sure.
Do the coaches come lift?
Oh yeah. My girl DP, MP, Ivy, they're all on plans. Fitz is in there 6 a.m. every day in the weight room. So we are definitely getting the coaches right. So we'll be the most in shape coaching staff in the ACC. So you heard it right here.
Yeah, Coach DP says she likes to get up shots and she plays with the players. So I was wondering if you're making sure she stays fit.
Oh, you know it. So yeah, they are on the, body by Bree lifting plan. So,
put that on a shirt. There's a question from our chat. Bill, one of our usual viewers, wants to know if you interact with all the other strength and conditioning coaches.
So like obviously we share the building with the men's program. So Brandon Kuhn and I, share the weight room. I occasionally get over to football, but obviously like during season, like with them, it's just so business and like they do a phenomenal job too. So once basketball season kind of starts, like we're kind of locked in the Watsco because we just want to be available. So I'd say me and Brandon Kuhn obviously see each other like every day. But now that, practice has started, I hate to make excuses, but it's kind of hard to get out of the building because we got kids in the building like literally all day. So
are you more intense than him? Because we see some of these Instagram videos and he looks like he's like going a million miles an hour.
Have you not seen her on the bench though?
I've seen her too. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, who's more intense?
Because I'm like,
you see these videos,
I guess maybe it depends on who you ask. I'd probably say like I'm pretty like chill. Like I don't really like raise my voice a ton, but I bet you if you ask, some of the freshmen this year, like this summer, I'm sure they're like, yeah, Bree got a little scary, like in the summer, like during some of the lifts or something like that. So I have my moments, I'll say that. But yeah, man, BK brings the energy for sure.
Are you a Monty's person with the rest of the staff? That it seems to be a staff favorite.
So I live in the Grove, so I go to Monty's like decently often. But man, like no free shout outs, but like Gramps Getaway right off the bridge in Key Biscayne is dope. So I've actually been kind of like going out that way a little bit because it's like 10 minutes from my house. So I love Monty's, historic. But Gramps might be the new little get together place.
You gotta tell the staff they need to broaden their horizons. You've been in Miami a few years now, so I mean,
yeah, I know. Gave him my food list. Just been sharing all the wealth of knowledge. So,
how is Miami for you? You've been here since 2022, right?
Yeah. So, the year 2022, 2023 was my first season. So the season we went to the Elite Eight. So
it's a good first season.
I know. I was about to say. I was like, man, this is a little scary because now not sure where I can, go up from here. But we'll get there for sure. I'm not too worried about it.
You came from Pitt?
Yeah, so I was at the University of Pittsburgh for a season. And then before that, I worked in pro soccer actually for a year. And then before that, I was at the University of Houston. And I worked with the women's basketball program out there for about 3 years before that too. So I've actually majorly been in basketball, even though I played soccer. So
you like the weather down here compared to Pitt?
Oh yeah,
what was the rationale for coming this way? But
there's not too much to complain about down here. So living 10 minutes from the beach, it's October and it's still 85 degrees out. So a lot different. Love it. This is definitely my vibe. But Pitt, don't sleep on Pitt. It's a great city. It's good food, lots of culture. Yeah, so I really enjoyed my time. At Pitt, but very, very happy to be living down in Miami for sure.
So was it a hard decision then to come to Miami?
I think always, making a big change, always brings about a little bit of doubt or, is this the right move? But, as soon as Coach Meyer got me on the phone, I was like, oh, this is a no-brainer. Like, how could I not go work for her? So obviously being able to work for Coach Meyer and having her bring me on was phenomenal. And I'm just so grateful. And I'm so excited to continue to keep working with Coach Cullup and the rest of the staff now too. Like I love being here. I love working at the University of Miami. So really excited that, that it's just been such a great transition.
Were you as devastated as we were when Coach Meyer announced her retirement?
Man, I was like,
we did a 2-hour show.
I couldn't even believe it. Like I couldn't believe it, but I'm so happy for her. I actually just saw Hunter a couple weeks ago and, I'm just so happy for her. Like, I think it was, a really hard decision, but, everyone's got to do what's best for them. But, I was shocked for sure.
Yeah,
I woke up to messages of, oh my God, Coach retired.
Yeah.
Emergency podcast in 2 hours.
We had no idea. We were just like staring at the camera like dead eyes. Like, I don't know what to do.
I know. I didn't feel real until like her press conference, and man, like I was welling up. I couldn't believe it. So, but no, like I said, super, super happy for her for sure.
We had Jasmine on the show a few months ago, and we had asked her like, how did she find out about Coach Cullup getting the job? And she's like, oh, I found out from my ESPN notification.
I think the whole process was it was a whirlwind. And yeah, I mean, but again, I super happy for Coach and so excited though that Coach Cullip is here and that she's the head coach and that we're rolling.
Sure.
Yeah, and we were also, I mean, we're close with Coach Meyer, but we're close with the whole program. So immediately, like, we shifted a little bit to hopefully a lot of these coaches are staying, a lot of these people are staying. So we're really happy to see a lot of familiar faces still here.
Yeah, we made a massive case for Coach Fitz. We're like, if they let him leave, we're gonna be so angry. So we're
yeah, he's the real deal. So I'm super glad that we were able to keep him too. And man, defense is going to be lit with him and Coach Ivy. So
yeah, she's next on the show. I'm already in contact with her.
There we go. Good job, Coach.
Coach Page, Muriel Page is the last one, and I've already been eyeing her up on Twitter, getting a little back and forth. So the goal is to have everybody from the coaching staff on before the start of the season.
Love that. Love that. Put the pressure.
Oh, well, I mean, everyone's been great about answering.
Yeah,
this.
we don't.
Even Coach Cullip like messaged us within like a day, like within weeks of her getting the job, she was already met. So
she's awesome. Like literally the best human ever.
When it first happened, when Coach retired, we were like, "This is terrible," but like never in a million years, we were like, "All right, it's just as good." Like there's no. The you guys are great. Like the women's team, we love it. We have to get your thoughts though, because there's another debate about the uniforms from last year.
All right,
the Coral Gables trolley uniforms. Your thoughts?
You don't even have to say anything. I saw your face. Anyway, I'm just taking it out
tonight. Excited for the new uniforms this year.
It's the yellow, right? It's
yeah.
I own one of those.
Mitch is a fan. Me and Matt, our other co-hosts, are not.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that the shoes that came with that jersey are actually kind of nice.
They do. Are they really yellow or like the pictures of them actually look are?
Yeah, they don't look like the same color as like the jersey. So most of our girls actually wear those. So those look kind of normal. But yeah, I love the whites from today. Love the new greens that I saw today. So
the new shorts are fire.
Fire. And the girls looked phenomenal.
They need to sell those. They need to stop. They need to stop screwing the fans over.
Agreed. Sell them.
Sell the shorts.
Yeah, I mean, the girls look great, but I thought the new jerseys today looked great. So I'm excited for them to. I mean, it just feels like the season's super close. So everyone's getting it.
November. We're less than a month away.
A month, I know. We're getting there. So everyone's super excited. And yeah, today felt a little bit more real seeing them walk out in their jerseys and kind of have them on. So it was exciting.
Fans, as long as we don't see the yellow again.
Yeah.
Hey, speak for yourself. What is we?
I'm hoping there'll be a new black alternate though. The black alternates are always nice. So
that's true. The blacks are always my favorite at the end of the season. So
the orange and green pop on black.
True.
So, all right. Before we let you go, Coach, me and Vish are actually heading out to Cal in the morning for the football game.
Oh, there you go.
We'll probably be back out in Cal when you guys are there for basketball.
Yeah,
the women's game line up with a really good time for us to make another West Coast trip. So we might be out there. We need a score prediction for the football game this weekend.
Oh gosh.
Or at least a prediction on win or lose.
I mean, for sure the Canes. Like man. Cam Ward's been lighting it up. I think they're going to at least score at least 3 touchdowns. So let's go, 21? Who are they playing? They're playing Cal?
Cal, yeah. We're averaging just under 40 points a game, if that helps.
Maybe I'll go up a little bit. Well, Wade Trip. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. Well, I'll say with 27. I'll give Cal a touchdown because they're at home, but we'll still win.
So 27-7.
Sorry, 21.
21-7?
Yep.
Okay. As long as it's a Canes win.
Yeah.
For sure, Canes win. I'll give Cal a touchdown because they're at home, but we'll play. We'll score, and we'll come home with the dub. So, yeah.
Coach doesn't know that my away game road record is 1-7.
It's fine. It's confirmation bias. It's fine. We don't go unless they're playing a good team.
We're breaking the jinx on Saturday. It's gonna happen.
We've never gone out to California to play, so
yeah, there you go.
Atlantic Coast on the Pacific Coast. Let's go.
Man, that's wild. That's crazy that y'all are making that trip out. That would be fun though.
Yeah, no.
You'll have to scope out the area for us.
Yeah, we'll let you know there's a really good Chinese food spot in San Francisco that you have to
Wait, hold on. There's a Chinese food spot she went to, what, 5 years
ago? That I've still been talking about.
For months. We're gonna find out.
Oh, I hope it's still good. Because it's still there. They actually opened up a second. They actually opened up a second.
I think it actually will be good, but she's been talking it up, so it's gotta deliver.
Oh, you're making me nervous. You kind of sound like people from In-N-Out.
Oh, I'm not a fan of In-N-Out, but I also don't eat beef, so.
Okay, I feel like people hype up In-N-Out.
Their fries are disgusting.
Yeah, they're not.
Their fries are terrible.
But
no, it's a really good Chinese food. But we're gonna try it again this weekend. So if it's still good. You'll see a post on Twitter about it.
Perfect. You gotta let us know.
We'll let you know. Coach, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it. And then, before we go, sorry, one last thing. What player should we try to get on the show next? We've had Leah and we've had Jasmine.
You know who you should try to get on, who's low key, really, really funny, is Baby D.
Darian?
Yep. Roger.
That's what Coach Cullip said. I gotta get her to check her DMs.
She's low key. She hits with those jokes. So
tell her she needs to check her Instagram DMs because I messaged her like 2 months ago and never got a response.
Man, next time comment when she gets her nails done. Say keep it clean, keep it cute, keep it clean.
Oh, she does post a lot about that.
Nails
All right. Well, tell her about us.
I will. I'll let her know.
Hit us up.
I'll let her know that I floated her name out.
Well, Coach Cullip did the same thing. That was her recommendation, and I've gotten denied. She hasn't answered me. So,
well, I'll see her tomorrow. So
there you go. That awesome. We're gonna get her on now because now we got 2 coaches saying that. All right, Coach.
All right. Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you so much.
These interviews go so fast. I swear.
It's been 30 minutes.
I look up and it's like 8:27 already. And I was concerned. I'm like, what are we going to talk about? Like weightlifting, but it's so easy.
Our coaches are awesome.
I was telling Vish off air. I was like, I listened to the Move the Needle podcast. Like, if you're super into like strength and conditioning and weightlifting and stuff, look up the Move the Needle podcast because Coach Brown was on it like 2-3 weeks ago. There's so much nerd talk when it comes to weightlifting on it. I listened to the whole thing and some of the stuff I was like, what's going on? But she hit home and she's like, yeah, you get to wear athletic clothes to work all the time. It's easy. Like
immediately. I wasn't going to disrupt the interview, but I was like, I feel like that is so you.
I was like, I get to wear a scrub, so it's like almost just as good. Like if I could wear a hoodie
that's a Melissa
it would be
answer.
Just as awesome. I was like, that's a big reason why I love the medical field is that I don't have to get dressed up. So
that did remind me of you when she was saying that. I was like, oh man, Melissa definitely loved that answer.
I have like 3 drawers of basketball shorts, so I totally feel her with that. So, should we bring up the uniform since we just talked about them?
Well, why don't we play our sponsor ad and then we'll.
Oh yeah, we got to go over uniform schedule and it's Fat Bear Week, guys.
It's Fat Bear Week.
Important things. All right, bring up the sponsor. Let's go.
Guess what, everyone? Football is back, and it's here to stay until February. Did you know that you can enhance your football viewing experience with Underdog Fantasy? Join over 1 million fans across 33 states that made picks on Underdog last year. My personal favorite is the higher-lower plays on my favorite NFL players on Sunday mornings after watching the Canes win on Saturday. The website is easy to use and the plays are easy to make. I love playing CeeDee Lamb higher rushing yards and waiting for the Cowboys to run a reverse. I never got into fantasy football because I didn't want to cheer against my own team, but with Underdog Fantasy, I can support my team by making picks for higher stat lines. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with the promo code 5REASONS. That is the word 5 reasons spelled out FIVEREASONS. And Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code 5REASONS, to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit over.
Must be 18 or over, 19 or over in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, dial 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369.
After that amazing ad read, we're back.
Our previous sponsor thing was so much shorter.
Well, this one, there are legalities.
It's so interesting how people are now like asking me. They're like, "Oh, what are you wearing to the game this weekend?" I was like,
well,
what?
For once, you could say hoodie and have it be appropriate.
It's a high of 89 on Saturday.
Yeah, but at night it's in the 50s.
I know, but I'm actually not bringing a hoodie to the game.
I know. But for once, at least, if someone asks why you're wearing a hoodie, it wouldn't be the dumbest question alive, which usually is when we're like.
I was hoping it was gonna.
Well, the feel like's 115. I wonder why she's not wearing a hoodie. I can't put my finger on it.
Before we get into the uniforms, real quick, is it next week?
Yep.
Next week is ACC tip-off. Vish will be in Charlotte. So
I'll be covering that event. Yes,
definitely check out the audio podcast of Buckets because he's gonna get some interviews, hopefully with the women's team, the men's team. I don't know who they're sending.
I haven't seen yet either. Usually we're supposed to get an exact timing of it, but basically if it's like last year, which I assume it will be, so there's a full-on press conference that's on ACC Network Extra. You can just watch that. That's streamed live and replay. And then
they have also the room stuff.
Yeah. So and then they have the breakout room where you get some one-on-one time. Those are not videoable. Those are audio only. So
only, yeah. So unfortunately, I cannot go because it was announced.
Prioritize the Panthers. No,
I am going to Panthers opening night.
But it was the week didn't work for most.
Listen, the Panthers won the first Stanley Cup in the history of the franchise. I have to be there for the banner.
I'll be sure to tell Coach Kulip that when I see her. Melissa would be here, but she'd rather go to the Panthers
Coach
game.
Page says, "Let's make it happen."
There it is. Things are
and then
happening.
she said, "Enjoy Cali," which either means she's following my Twitter or she watched the show, one or the other. If you're watching Coach Page, what's up? I will be DMing you soon to set up a time and date for you to come on the show. Let's go.
Yeah, but so anyway,
I now have to write this even smaller because Coach picked Chick-fil-A.
Anyway,
and sure I was gonna preface it with saying like you probably don't eat a lot of fast food, but
I know. I still feel like she get a do-over on Julian Gamble. Chick-fil-A because of breakfast is not an answer, and I was throwing up into a trash can at the time, and I couldn't object to you writing it on the board.
Well, that's before we reworded the question. You need to have an emergency brought.
Yeah, if that I know he's talking about the Boozer twins, obviously. If
they're trending. They're trending Duke though, guys.
Well, we'll see what happens. If they commit, we'll talk.
I'm not confident.
We'll be fine either way.
Yeah,
we'll get them out of the portal in a year. But but as Melissa said, subscribe to the 5 Reasons Games podcast because the breakout room stuff we're not allowed to video, so it's going to only be on the audio podcast.
Do we want to talk about the Buckets business card? I have it on the board now.
Sure. Are you planning on bringing some with you?
I actually put a bunch in my suitcase to give to Matt, and then I have more here, and I'll give more to you. Do you want me to bring your stipend?
I think so because I'm landing in Miami and going straight to Charlotte, and I want them there.
Oh, okay. So I need to pack more. Got it.
Or I guess I can pick them up from. Actually, I can pick them up from your place when we get back because I'm gonna go back home, grab shit, and leave.
Will
Miami
we have
versus what Miami FAU game? Is there a baseball scrimmage or something? It's got to be baseball.
Yeah, it's got to be baseball.
No. Okay, so I can't cover 4 sports at once, man. It's out of season.
There's a lot going on. Football season is in full swing. Basketball
tip-off is next week.
There's the basketball dinner for the women's team November 1st. Y'all check out their Twitter. Check out Buckets_Canes. We've retweeted it multiple times. If you're looking to meet.
Yeah, I
some
think
of
you can
the
still get tickets. I think you can still
Yeah,
get
I think you
tickets.
can. You can meet the coaching staff's going to be there. The players are going to be there. Coach Reeves, who's the head coach
Cheryl
of
Reeves.
Minnesota Lynx, as well as the USA women's basketball team that just won gold, is going to be there. So if you're looking to go to that, check out the Canes women's basketball Twitter page. I'll send it out again. And yeah, definitely look into that. It's November 1st. Me and Vish will be there. Not that anyone's going to see us, but we'll be there.
Of course, people go to see us.
We'll have Buckets business cards.
Yeah, Olympic gold medalists or us. We don't treat these guys like I'm.
Canes Cats Heat. This is a basketball show. There is another show on this network called Canes on Deck, where you can get all of your baseball information.
It's also, brother, it's October. What do you want me to cover?
We did mention football, so I shouldn't be that harsh.
No, I get what he's saying. They're doing fall ball, and there's nothing for us to really do with that. Like, seriously. The middle of football season, basketball tip-off. I can't do 4 at once. I can do 3. I can't do 4.
Can we bring up the new unis?
Why don't we do women's schedule since we're just talking about the women? And then we'll end with the unis.
The ACC schedules were released.
Yes,
we'll do a men's breakdown when Matt comes, but when Matt's here.
Well, we're gonna show the we'll show it all now, but
we'll talk about the women's schedule a little bit. Matt's a little under the weather, so he's not with us today.
Yeah, we'll do them both now, but we'll do an in-depth breakdown, as Melissa said. All right, now here's the issue.
And stay tuned for Fat Bear Week.
Fat Bear Week is coming. That we will cover.
We're definitely covering.
Right. That's the women's schedule.
All right. So we end in California.
We do, and actually, I think I'm running a half marathon on March 3rd in Miami.
You might not be.
What, are you bullying me already?
Well, I got to see if I can even get off of work, but we're hoping to make a West Coast trip.
All right. Well, I think we know where this ends if you can get off work, but I'm running a half marathon in Miami on March 3rd. I just realized that there's, after the first several games where it's road, home, we just string a home game, string a road game, string a home game, string a road games. We have 3 home games in a row twice.
Yeah, the beginning of the schedule is kind of crazy because it's like home, away, home, away, home, away. And then our Cal trip is all in one trip.
Yeah, I mean, if you get off work, well...
Man, at Duke would have been a lot of fun, but that's Super Bowl Sunday.
God, I want to run that half marathon. Anyway.
Canes Cats Heat is thanking you for your continued coverage of baseball.
They're charging for content and not delivering.
Who do we think is gonna go to the tip off?
Oh, from
the women's team.
It might be these two.
Who went last year? It was Jasmine and Leah.
It was Jasmine and Jalea, and then for the men it was Nigel and Norchad. So we'll see if they completely switch it up. All right, let's see if we can guess. I could probably find out very easily, but let's see if we can guess anyway.
I don't know. I feel like Jasmine should be there, but I don't know if because she went last year, it changes. Because this is like her 4th year here. This is
all right. Is there any way they send just one of the twins?
I don't know. Because you only send 2, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we did last year. I don't know if there's a rule against sending 3.
I feel like one of the players has to be somebody that played last year. That's why I feel like it should be Jasmine.
I mean, if you're doing continuity, it's Jasmine and Lamaya.
No, I don't think it's going to be Lamaya. She's a junior.
I'm just saying if you're doing people that were on the team last year.
Yeah,
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Like...
Because most of the players are new. It'll be interesting. And then for the men, it's got to. I mean, I know he went. It's got to be Nigel.
I feel like
I think Nigel and Jasmine have to be there.
So, like, my guess is going to be Jasmine and Haley.
Ooh. So I'm gonna go wild card. I think. I don't think it'll be either of the twins. I think it'll be Jasmine and
Cam or Nat.
I think Cam. That's my guess. I'm sure like the women's team actually watches the show. Someone is definitely screaming at their YouTube channel, "You idiots! You could have just asked us."
It's gonna be. I feel like it would be weird if Jasmine didn't go because you're gonna send two players that
I
didn't
wonder
play
if
for
I
the
can.
program last year.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
Google
I
this. They
mean,
might have even released
they
this
named
already.
5 captains, so it's gonna be 2 of those 5 would be my assumption.
I feel like I should have already gotten the list of stuff with the schedules.
For the men, I think it's gonna be Nigel and Matthew Cleveland.
Yeah, I agree. I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing. Okay,
They haven't
maybe I
announced it
didn't.
yet.
I don't
Bill's
know,
gonna be at the Duke and the NC State game. Bill, you need to make it down to Miami for a game. I would love to actually meet you in person.
Well, some of us are kind enough to travel to Winston-Salem and meet Bill.
Well, the Duke game's on Super Bowl Sunday. I can't. As much as I love the women's team, Super Bowl Sunday is kind of like.
Okay, so UNC did announce they're sending RJ Davis and Seth Trimble. That's the only thing I can see written on this. So maybe we didn't do. We definitely didn't do a press release because we get them into our inboxes. So.
No. Did you watch the interviews that were on YouTube? They interviewed Haley and Nat and Coach, and then
no,
Coach
there was
L
a press day, but I forget. Oh, I was in Charleston.
and Cleveland and who else was it besides Matthew Cleveland?
CCH. You need to go
Jalen
work for
Blackman.
Baseball America or something.
So, happy birthday to Coach L, by the way. It is the GOAT's birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Coach L. Happy New Year, Melissa.
Oh yes, Shana Tova to our Jewish following. You're 5785.
All right, let's look at the men's schedule real quick. We're not going to do a thorough breakdown because we ain't doing that without Mr. Bridges, but we'll give it a little look, see here, and then.
Oh, no final thoughts today. That's like my favorite part of the show is a little video. We got Duke twice, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's good.
Can we talk about opening at home the weekend of the ACC championship
against a possible opponent?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna be in.
We might have to beat Clemson twice that day.
We're gonna be in Charlotte on the 7th. So that's unfortunate, but
I hope. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill, you should not drive 5 minutes to watch Wake scrimmage. Yeah, anything stick out to you here as Kane's Catch Heat was saying? No, UNC at home sucks.
Ending the season at home, which is always nice.
Yeah,
I like when Senior Day is actually the last game of the season.
And I guess we'll be watching the UNC road game from somewhere in the Bay Area since since we'll be out there apparently watching women's hoops.
Oh yeah, hopefully, yeah. You know my work schedule, guys.
Yeah, and then Callan Stanford on this one is January, which will be in. I think the playoffs are then for football, so they're the finals, the championship game, which we'll be in. So, all right.
It was cold in 2017. Kane's Cats Heat. It was. And it got colder the more Clemson scored.
Like Michael Irvin said, when it was cold, we was cold.
All right.
Nothing really. I mean, look, we don't have. We also don't have at UVA, which is an easy road trip for me. Yeah, these aren't nothing really travelable.
That requires not getting an airplane.
Yeah, that's not great. Anyway, we'll have Matt.
Yeah, Bill. Getting tickets to a men's Duke game is difficult and expensive.
I have done that. Frank Hate's best team that year.
Bring
was
up.
the team.
Are we going to talk uniforms?
We are most definitely going to talk uniforms. Let me bring them up.
I'm a fan of the shorts.
Oh, here's the combo photo.
I like the pinstripe thing on the bottom of the shorts. I really enjoy the women's shorts, though. I like them a lot.
I don't like the thick stripes on the legs.
Doesn't bother me.
I like the men's one better than the
Yeah. The jerseys, as far as the jerseys are concerned, I'm not like, oh my God, those are fire, but I also don't think they suck either. Like, it's a decent jersey.
I think the one with the green, I think the green on that white looks better than the orange on it. That's why I like the men's better. This is a thing that happened.
I'll keep an eye on the Villanova games.
But anyway, yeah, good solid jerseys. You can see those in the Final Four. So
Yeah.
they're not going to prove.
I wish they'd bring back the orange.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen. So they released some green ones too, right? We haven't seen if there's an orange and we haven't seen a black one either, which I'm assuming there will be.
Yep.
And then the women will also have a pink one that they do for breast cancer once a year. So, yeah, there's still more jerseys to be released.
But just as important, it's Fat Bear Week, guys.
It is most definitely. Oh wow, CCA. Wait, hold on. Before we pivot to Fat Bear Week, CCA's got.
He doesn't like them at all. Listen, they're not bright yellow, so we're already winning.
No comments.
I saw. I responded.
They look fine. They're not as good as the Charlie jerseys, but they're fine. All right, let's get into Fat Bear Week. So we got the. All right, let me get the bracket.
So I did pick the winner last year.
Yeah, and your Bears in here again. So.
Yeah, I know, but the Bears looking a little smaller than last year. I don't know that I'm as confident.
All right, well here we go. Let's.
I also don't know. Do Bears win twice in 2 years in a row?
It has happened. So this is your bracket.
Where's my bear?
Your bear is Grazer, which I think is 160. I think it's 164.
No.
Or is it 128? That's your bear.
Yeah, that's my bear.
Oh well, that was definitely your bear.
It's a big bear. I mean, I have to stick with my pick from last year, but I'm a little concerned because she's looking a little smaller.
Apparently, she had like more kids or something. So, like, she's actually bigger. But yeah, yours is 128.
Which
Jazz,
one's yours?
This year I'm going with the one I
Jazz
picked
is 747, right?
No, I'm going 747, which is this guy, nicknamed Bear Force One. And then Jazz is going 32, which is Chunk. Chunk's got a formidable belly.
I know, right? Chunk's looking large in the backside.
So yeah, I forgot who I picked last year, but I don't see her in it this year, so I had to find a new bear.
Haynes Cat's Heat is not aware of Fat Bear Week.
Oh my god,
I wasn't either until Vish introduced me to it. You got to pick the fattest bear after
Yeah, so basically
they're going into hibernation. How fat are they?
For those of you in the audio podcast version of this is very terrible, but we have a bracket open, and essentially, the national park in Alaska, Katmai. Every year they do Fat Bear Week, which is the bears come out of hibernation and they do before and after photos and they put them in a bracket and you vote daily on which fat bear should advance to the next round. It runs for, again, a week, October 2nd through 8th this year. And then you got your Fat Bear Week winner. So 747 is a 2-time champion, 2020 and 2022. So I'm going pattern 24. Got to get it done again.
128, which is my bear, won last year.
Won last year. I think Chunk has won before as well. So we got some defending champions here. 909 Junior, we did look at the results from today, has advanced. Big upset when Fat Bear. So last week is Fat Bear Week Junior, where all the Cubs go. So the winner of that makes it into the main bracket. But big surprise, 909 Junior advances. 909, his mother, does not. So
519 is looking a little scrawny.
Yeah, some of these early round ones, well, 519's gone. He's out.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't say who is the champ. They don't. This is from past years. You vote live.
Yeah, this is a live voting. The bracket. They put the bracket, then people vote, and the Bears advance.
Yeah, and like this is an example of some of what you're gonna see is stuff like this. Like this is so they show you the before and after and give you a little bio on the Bears. That's Melissa's bear there. You can see how much fatter it got.
Good old Grazer.
Yeah, I mean that's a formidable. That's gonna be a good title defense.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah, like for today, the voting is already done, so you can kind of see who's advanced to the next round. So this is today's voting. So 909 junior advanced past 519 was not for an adult bear. That is terrible. And then that's 909's mom losing to 903 Gully. So
there was no contest.
Well, a bit of an upset though, because usually the I mean, this is a big bear too. Usually the juniors go out early, but junior had a good matchup here.
The obesity in our youth.
Yeah, usually those are not. But anyway, so that's your bracket. So they'll be voting daily. I think there's one day they don't vote, but basically daily until get to the finals. So there will be continuing coverage on but people know which bears have won before, so people want certain bears to win. Yeah, I know. That's why it's Fat Bear Week, dude. CCA says these are all massive. Although, should we talk about why Fat Bear Week was delayed?
Because another bear killed one of the bears?
Yeah, there were two. There was they were supposed to announce the bracket was supposed to be announced on Monday. And there's live cameras, like you can see the bears out there and stuff. There's live cameras all over the park, and they all have numbers because that's what they tag them and identify them. They don't physically tag them, but they identify them by numbers and they recognize them. And yeah, so on camera on Monday, two of the bears got into a little growling match, escalated, and one of them killed the other one and took it away to eat it. Send the video. The video is all over YouTube. You can go find the video of the bear.
The internet is real. You're using it right now.
Yep. So that did happen. So instead of doing the bracket reveal on Monday, they did a live stream with park rangers explaining the circle of life, essentially. So called a little bit of an audible.
It is a bear eat bear world.
Yeah. So called a little bit of an audible, and then they returned yesterday to get the to go ahead and do the bracket. So we're back on schedule with the
vote
voting.
for 128 Grazer. That's my bear. That's my girl. She won last year.
Melissa and I might have a yeah. So it does drag out a little bit. So Melissa and I might have a matchup going on Monday here.
We won't even know because we fly in on a red eye Sunday night into Monday morning. So
I mean, it's during the day though, the voting.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'll vote before I go to sleep, and then Tuesday, I will be at Panthers opening night. Kane's Cats Heat should appreciate that. I don't know if he's going to the Panthers opening night game to see the banner.
Wow, they were fighting. Yeah, no, it's you can see what happens, and then later you see the bear that the surviving bear, I guess, was end up eating the other one. Neither of them are in the bracket. Well, obviously, that's not fat anymore. The other. I think that I would not be surprised if one or both of them were in the bracket at one point and were removed as part of the.
That might be why we have a skinnier bear in the bracket.
CCH has a.
Oh, you're going to? Nice.
Was going ring ceremony the night before.
Oh, the ring ceremony. Okay. No, I'm going to the game.
I mean, we didn't. Melissa and I in chat talked about this. How we hit Fat Bear Week when we're playing the Bears
for the Cal game. I love it.
Yeah, that's perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Matt, Bill's thumbnail is so great. So, did you see the video of them all singing to Coach L today?
I did not.
He asked who made the cake, and they're like Publix. Shout out to Publix. Obviously,
you want to shout out Publix?
Huh? Their cakes are really good.
So are their insurrections. So mixed feelings. I mean,
you know who we should shout out? Our unofficial sponsor, AboutTheFans.com.
We should
search Hoodie Girl and buy an amazing hoodie from the Hoodie Girl collection. There's 4 to choose from. And if you use the offer code HG10, that's HG10, you can get 10% off of your order. AboutTheFans.com, search Hoodie Girl.
Should do that. Fat Bear Week coverage will continue next week on Six Rings Kane Show Monday night. As we work towards we'll know the finalists during that show, so that'll be.
And in the coming weeks, looks like we'll have both the Coach Ivy and the other Coach Paige on the show.
Yeah, and
they've now both confirmed that they want to come on. So
nice. I will have multiple interviews from ACC Tip Off as well. So
we'll see if Coach Brown gets Darion to answer my DM.
A lot of stuff coming up on the show, and then we're right into the season.
Right, November. We're less than a month away.
November 4th is the men's first game.
I think there's an exhibition. Is that the exhibition?
No, that's the real one.
Okay, because there's some exhibition games. And the tip-off dinner, November 1st for the women.
Yep. Can
we get a baseball coach on the show?
On this show, probably not the best idea, but on Canes on Deck, we can. We're actually, more seriously, we're working on some stuff. Jazz knows a lot of the coaches and staff and basically everyone in baseball in South Florida. So.
I like how Coach tonight was like, you tagged everybody on it on that tweet, so we kind of had to. I'm like, I have no shame.
So two things.
It's secret.
But yeah, two things. One is we're close, we're friendly, especially with the women's program. We don't know anything like that type of stuff.
No.
That and if we did, we wouldn't say it on the show. So. But we actually don't know anything, so we're not holding back though.
No, but the word that I'm seeing and the rumors I'm seeing is that the Boozers are going to go to Duke. So we'll see if Coach L can close.
If they do, they do. I'm never concerned with such things. You see who shows up on campus, and then you kick everyone's ass with them.
We don't have the info, Canes Cats.
Yeah, that wasn't a lie. We actually don't have the info.
We don't know. We cover the team, but we're not like insiders. Like,
I mean, even if we were told, well, I meaned right on top of each other. But even if we were told stuff, like we wouldn't say it on here anyway.
Yeah, unless we were allowed to.
Well, no, but it's also more seriously, unless like the coach just told us, hey, say this, or not that we'd be their mouthpiece, but like, hey, you should say this, or you can say, because look, we do this, we work in media. I've actually written for like actual like publications and stuff, but I don't know how to actually be a journalist. None of us do, and actually like, oh, we have this lead. How do I run this down? How do I find multiple sources to make, like, we don't know how to do any of that shit. So it would be irresponsible of us to report stuff that we do here because we don't know how to source it correctly and like get multiple sources and get it vetted. So we as shameless as no shame sounds so much better, but it didn't really work. As no shameless as we are.
We're in Miami. You can use the word irregardlessly.
Yeah, that's true. Irregardless of our lack of shame, we do actually take this seriously. So,
the football team announced the unis for Saturday. I know this is a basketball show, but
orange pants,
white on orange on black,
white on orange on black, black shoes,
black shoes. Yeah. Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah, no, I wanted the orange pants.
Yeah, we keep doing different combos. I love it.
I like the orange pants and the lights too. Mm-hmm. It'll look really cool on the lights in the stadium. Since we're playing at night.
We got good seats, by the way. I looked at the stadium map. I didn't even realize Max hooked it up.
Yeah, no, he put us right at the 30, I think. No,
we're on the home side though.
Oh no, he got him through Cal.
Yeah. We're on the home side.
Yeah, we were in the UM section before.
Okay.
We are no longer. He got him. He had to connect to Cal. That's how we got these West Coast people, Mom.
Shout out to Max because it's his birthday today too. Dirty 30.
Oh.
He shares a birthday with Coach L.
No one was gonna tell me. He was gonna have me be an ass.
I didn't know. He told me earlier today.
And he told you to announce it on our show. I am actively sending him a message.
Because he messaged me. He's like, do you know I have something in common with Coach L? And I'm like, is today your birthday? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, happy birthday. 30. He's 30 years old today.
Well, he just got a birthday message from me, which I'm sure he was waiting all day for. So
I'm sure he was.
mean, wouldn't you all?
Anything else to cover? We don't have our usual final segment because Matt's not here.
You know what? I'm playing it anyway, and we're just not gonna have any final thoughts.
Sans Matthew Bridges. There are
You know
no
what?
final thoughts today.
You know what? My final thoughts are: I do some awesome work with some of these videos and graphics. That's what I'll say. That's
I
some good
will.
shit.
I will say the intros and the transitions are amazing. My final thoughts are go Canes, beat Cal. Buy a hoodie from aboutthefans.com.
HG10 is still good.
HG10 is still good. HG10, 10% off. Buy a hoodie. Are you ready, Vish?
CCH is doing his own show.
He's still on baseball. Shout out to Coach Brown, the strength and conditioning coach, for coming on the show tonight.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yes.
Stay tuned for more buckets. We'll have more schedule breakdowns. Coach Page is going to be on the show.
Bunch of content. 5 Reasons Canes podcast. Subscribe.
Yes,
You're
5
gonna miss
Reasons
all of
Canes
our
con- and if you see us in Cal, we will have business cards. They're really nice.
Those, are you walking around with those?
I'll put a few in my bag just in case. Premium quality. We paid extra to get the nice card stock. And happy birthday to Coach L.
And happy birthday to Max.
And happy birthday to Max. Vish, see you bright and early at 6 a.m. Cue the Sox outro.
Don't cry. Keep it chill. Wear good socks.
Buckets.